Hello, everyone. If you can hear me, please let me know in the chat. If everything's working properly, you should be able to hear me right now. And I think I got everything set up correctly. Anyways, so this is finale on macOS Big Sur, and at any point in this live stream, feel free to ask questions inside the live chat, and I'll answer them pretty much right away. So, yep, one person said yes, so I'm assuming that means you can hear me. Cool. So we're going to go over several things today, unless one of you has extra input. First, we're going to probably start off with just basic no entry stuff. From what I was able to tell in the last few days, so I've used Finale probably about 8 hours since upgrading. Cool, we have Conquering Finale here as well. So yeah, I've used Finale probably about 8 hours since upgrading, and I haven't noticed any specific bugs in Finale. There are a couple edge cases that you might want to be aware of. Those mainly have to do with the new UI. For instance, if you have anything, let's see, if I go over here to my keyboard Maestro, where is it? It's been so long since I've actually looked through all of these. Let's see, if I go over there and A, then ask music symbols, I believe Slurs has this. No, I did that for Slurs. Anyways, so if you have something that has an image, that does change, and that will not work, because Finale uses a lot of the built-in UI stuff from macOS Big Sur, and macOS Big Sur had a huge UI overhaul. Let's see, if I go over here and I try to save something, you can see the save folders are different. Let's just save this, and then, I don't know, edit something. Or let's try to, no. I thought I prepared better for this. Okay, so we're going to save this, and we're going to edit something and then try to close it. As you can see, the save dialog box is completely different. So anything you had in Keyboard Maestro, if you use Keyboard Maestro that dealt with that, you're probably going to have dealt with the actual images. You're probably going to have to redo that. Anyways, let's see, where are we? So as you can see, note entry stuff, that in general works perfectly fine. You can enter notes. It works in speedy entry as well. In fact, if you saw my video yesterday, that was all in Big Sur. So that is working fine. I was able to do things with the StreamDeck. I was able to add dynamics with it nice and easily. That was working. See, I know I had a plan for this. Let's go to my plan real quickly because I'm blanking out on what I was going to do. So let's see. Oh yeah, someone asked about batch exporting stuff and exporting to music XML. When I was trying this earlier, exporting music XML seemed to work okay. So if I exported it to the desktop, and if I go over here and then open it up, it seems to work perfectly fine. I have not been able to test this out in a huge amount of detail. And these little things, I think that's mainly just with my template. So if I were to create something new from scratch through the setup wizard with the normal engraved style template, I don't think there's going to be an issue with the specific music XML export. So let's export it to music XML. Go over here to back to Finder, music XML4. Yeah, so perhaps this is actually an actual bug then with music XML, that it's moving the time signature down a little bit from where it should be. If you can replicate this in the previous version of Finale, that'll be good to know if it's an actual bug over here or not. But cool. So what else is there? By the way, if you're curious, I'm skipping back and forth between my notes on another desktop screen. Let's see. So someone else asked about Garriton sounds. Unfortunately, the actual way I was able to pass through my Finale sounds into OBS to stream it to YouTube, that actually is broken from Big Sur. So there are things that are definitely not working. So I can't actually show it to you, but I can confirm that when I was trying it out before this live stream, Garriton and Noteperformer both work correctly in terms of playback. Cool, so Conquering Finale is going to check that out on Catalina as well, so that'll help out. Yeah, I've not noticed anything in any of the third-party plugins that are an issue. Like I said, it's mainly if you have anything that's tied to the UI. How about some JW Lewis scripts? Cool. So JW Lewis scripts seem to be working completely fine from what I can tell. I haven't found any errors. The only thing with JW Lewis I've found is, I believe this is actually more of a Finale 26.3 thing than a Big Sur thing. But if you're typing something in here, it's actually like, by default, whenever you try to type in a measure or type in anything in the actual JW Lua thing, it for some reason always just like slides over. That's the only JW Lua thing I've found so far. But let's test out some JW Lua scripts. So I'm going to do it actually through the JW Lua menu, that way you can see what I'm doing. Let's first try creating some clusters. So this is a script by Jake Winkler. Go up here to JW Lua scripts. Let's go to clusters, determinate clusters. That seems to work. Let's go up to indeterminate clusters. That seems to work as well. My favorite, because I really like these scripts. Where are they? String harmonics. Those are seeming to be working. Any of the JW Lua scripts through the StreamDeck. So I have the most recent version of the StreamDeck up. So like all these dynamics. Okay, cool. So the XML time signature is a bug on Big Sur. So I will report that to Finale then, unless you want to do it during this live stream. But I will do that if you don't. So like the StreamDeck JW Lua scripts, those are all seeming to be working properly, including the slurs and hairpins. So we can add in a hairpin through the StreamDeck. Let's go add in a slur. Here, I'll just do it the shortcut way. Adding the slurs also work as well. What other JW Lua scripts are there? I also, by the way, if you're curious, tried out the Perfect Layout plugin. Couldn't find a problem with that. Although I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say anything more than that right now on the Perfect Layout plugin, because it's technically still in beta. So if we swap layers 1 and 2, that's working correctly. Do I have any? Here, I can create a, I don't know, really long script. Oh no! That's a Keyboard Maestro bug. It's opening up on the wrong screen. So cool. That is another bug with one of my Keyboard Maestro scripts. Oh, that was probably because I haven't fixed that. That was probably this one, and I think there's some images in here. Oh, I'll figure that out later. So you're curious if the time signature issues for Music XML, do I have a fuller file with much more data to check Music XML issues with? Let's try to open up a file. It's been a while since I've had a really huge file, so let's see. There's probably a really huge file in here. Oh, you know what? Here's an absolutely huge file. So I wrote this a long time ago. So this is I think there's like what, 20,000 notes in here. Maybe that's not a huge file, but there's a lot of instruments in state. So let's export it to Music XML. Oh, and if you're curious about the font, this is just because I was using an old font that I don't have installed in this computer. So that's why this font looks like the standard, I believe that's Arial font and not the usual font that I use. That's not a Big Sur issue. That's this is an old file issue. Just that way we have a ton of data. And so I don't have a comparison to know if it usually takes us long to export to music XML. It's not something I do on a regular basis. But yeah, this might be an issue if music XML usually doesn't take this long. There we go. There is something. Let's go to Finder. Prologue and music XMLs. So it looks like it exported. Oh, it's probably trying to export all the parts now too. Maybe the XML export is a larger issue. Perhaps it is. So we're going through all the parts. Oh, and if you're absolutely curious, this is the this is not the file I actually used to remove all the collisions and engrave everything with. But just because this is such a huge score, I decided to do that in a bunch of separate smaller files. So if you're curious, that's why it doesn't look as clean as it can be. But I figured if we're going to talk about big sizes for music XML, might as well go with the largest file I can readily think of. Yeah, this is going to take a while. Yep. Oh, if you're curious what this piece was, while we're waiting for the big pinwheel of death, this is for my composition recital at the end of college, and I was like, why not? Let's just have like 16 trombones play with like an entire orchestra. That'll be fun. So that's why this piece has a ton of parts. There's 16 trombone parts. This bottom half is all trombones. The top half is all orchestras in a more condensed score. So there's probably, I think, like what, 50, 60 parts in here? Okay, anyways, it looks like it is done. So now let's open it up in Finale. Yeah, perhaps a medium-sized file would have been better. But interestingly, okay. So let's zoom in. It looks like it is also an issue over here as well. Let's see, I believe there's a time change. No, sorry, this was all in 3.4. Yeah, so the time signature thing appears to also be an issue here, and I don't think it was an issue here. I think those are just the usual XML collisions that we can easily get rid of. So yeah, I'm actually, other than that one thing, I'm not really seeing anything. How is that in the original? Yeah, so the caesuras might be an issue. Did I change the position in the preferences? Let's see. I do not believe it was changed from the defaults, in this file at least. Time signatures, top symbol, bottom symbol. So that might actually be it. Let's apply that real quickly. Yeah, so somehow that got changed, and that was not in the original file. Oh, and also apply that to the parts as well. So yeah, it looks like the time signature issue is just the system preferences changing between the files on the music XML export. That is good to know. Looks like that might have, the large measure numbers might have had different settings. Yeah, the background isn't conforming as it was before. Is that just a matter of settings? Oh, I always forget the music XML exports things differently. Yeah, it seemed to have exported it in the miscellaneous rather than the tempo marks, which makes sense. So unless there's something else you want to look at for the exporting to music XML, it looks like for the most part it works. There might just be a little smaller bugs like that. I think the hyperglyphs, that might have been a I'm not sure if that's a new thing or not, but I'm also not sure if music XML can actually encode hidden notes like that and beams that aren't shown. If it can, let me know, because if so, that's another bug. I just in general hate exporting to music XML, so I try to keep everything in Finale. This is all looking alright, the same. A lot of rest because trombone players need rest after that much playing. Yep, okay. So I'm not seeing anything else in particular. Yes, so oh, that's weird. So it looked like actually also the time signature size changed in the parts, although that might also just be in the original. I think that was part of my document styles back then as well. No, it wasn't. So the font size also changed over here. Oh yeah, XML from Sibelius is terrible, especially like I've noticed that going back and forth between Finale and Sibelius in general is just really awful, especially through music XML. So it's like so much better just keep things in their native format. So yeah, just a bunch of little things that appear to be different. Anyways, so let me check off that. JW Lua seems to be working. Like I said, the StreamDeck from everything I've tried and the JetStream is working well. I can go more through that if any of you wish, but so far it is working. Keyboard Maestro, there was an update for if you use Keyboard Maestro. So you would have to update Keyboard Maestro to actually be able to use it. Also, I think for this StreamDeck, you also needed to have an update to the actual desktop program. So if you're using the JetStream or any other custom StreamDeck thing, you do need to update that software, but I've had zero issues with that. So, anything any of you would like to see me try out right now? If not, I'm thinking of going straight through several of the third-party plugins, like perhaps the Patterson plugins or any of the JW plugins or anything over here, or perhaps even TG tools, because I know those aren't necessarily dependent on Finale, but for many of you, and especially for me, those are kind of important to work on, or to be able to have working. So unless I hear anything, let's just try out, let's try JDB change. If JDB change isn't working, that means there's probably issues somewhere else. So yes, we could try, let's see, note head visibility. Set it to show, that works. Set it to hide, seems to be hiding, so that's working. What are the good things are here? Accidentals, let's add in one of that so we can resize it to, I don't know, something absurd like 200%. Oh, accidentals, of course, not articulations. That would explain why that wasn't working. Create extra definitions, yes, sure, why not? Cool, so that functionality seems to be working. Let's delete it. We could change its visibility as well. Cool, that seems to be working. Sequence editor, let's create a new sequence. It's been so long since I've used this because I transferred everything over to JW Lua. Sequence. Okay, so we're going to edit the sequence. Sure, let's just add these to the sequence and save it. Oh, we have a crash. No, I did not have to reblast JDB plugins or anything in general. So cool, it looks like the sequence editor and JW change crashed Finale. Let's just add a new default document real quickly. So yeah, JDB change seems to be working aside from that crash. Stacked articulations and finger numberings for piano. Okay. So in general, from what I've been able to see so far, stacked articulations seem to be working, but I can add accent, staccato, etc. Some of those stuffs. They seem to be working, but you specifically wanted to know with the fingering numbers. So, sorry, I have to do this a slow way because I overrode those keyboard shortcuts. But these seem to be working well. And now let's just, for fun, add a slur in here and make sure that this slur also works with it. And it does. Cool. Oh yes, as Conquering Finale pointed out, stacked articulations are only in Finale 26, which is what I'm using. But in general, with the numbers in general, they seem to be working. I should mention while I'm here that I put all the specific versions of all the software that I'm using in the description. So if you want to know like which version of Finale 26, which version of the StreamDeck or the Keyboard Maestro or any of that fun stuff, or even Noteperformer, that's in the description. That way you can make sure that you know how I'm getting these results, whether they're working or not. What else is in here that is useful? Staff styles. So in general, in Finale 25, to get the stacked articulations, you have to move them by hand. There's, as far as I know, no automatic stacking in Finale 25. Finale 26, in general, I would recommend that upgrade just for the articulation stacking. Saves a whole lot of time. And also the other thing to note is that I believe officially Finale 25 is not compatible even on Catalina. It might not even be compatible on Mojave. Officially. A lot of people have gotten it to work successfully. It's kind of like right now, Finale is not officially compatible on Big Sur. but for the most part, it is working correctly. Yes, this is still an Intel processor. I do not have the new M1 chips. Yeah, I probably will not be getting the newest M1 MacBooks, only because this computer is so far working fine for me, so there's like no need to upgrade. As well as, I'm sure when I'll need an upgrade next in a few years, that the new Apple Silicon processors are going to be like so much better than M1 is currently. Not saying M1 is bad, because it is impressive. Cool. Let's just try out more things. Let's just do a random thing. We already tried out music spacing. Update layout should be working well. Let's just do that. Oh, copy paste filters. So cool. Let's try to copy and paste some notes. So cool, that seems to be working. Now let's copy and paste the slur on top of that. Cool. And let's copy and paste the articulations. So cool. And if you're curious, by the way, what I was doing, that was just the Keyboard Maestro script to do all the stuff where is it manually? Yeah, with the edit filter to edit what you're copying and pasting, and the use filter to be able to basically transform what you're copying. So if I were to do this the manual way, so Control C to copy, sorry, Command C, we're on a Mac, edit filter, and then I want to none notes, where are the notes? Notes and rests. Okay, and then paste to only insert notes. That's what I was doing with the really fast script over here. Let's see. Oh, finale script. People like finale script. Let's write a finale script. Anyone know a good thing to write a finale script for? Because I rarely use finale script. Untitled script. Oh yeah, someone was asking me earlier this week how to create hotkeys in finale script. So let's try to run this one. Okay, perhaps finale script isn't running. Because I should be able to, if I run this one, it should be able to change the measure tool over here. And it's just, unless I'm writing this wrong, I thought this finale script was working earlier this week. Let's just try one of the default finale scripts. So set up page size to, I don't know, landscape A4. Okay, so the default finale scripts seem to be working correctly. To tabloid. Cool. Perhaps save as graphic. Don't really want to do that. Oh, the batch export music XML. That is probably exactly what the person was talking about. So let's add in another document, and we can try batch exporting music XML. Document 2. Yep. Place it. So let's go to Finder. So that was that one, and I believe it also just added this one down here. 1029, that would be now. And Untitled 3 at 1029, that would be now. Okay, cool. So batch export does seem to be working. So then perhaps that one finale script not running might have been finale script that I ran, or I wrote incorrectly. What is this one? Okay, changes the staff line thickness. Now it should be 24 under beam thickness. It is 24 eVPU, so cool. So I think we can safely say that, safety message. Okay. What is this one supposed to be doing? Select the first staff, delete the first staff, select all, remove the chords. Oh, so this one's supposed to just delete everything in all the open docs. Cool. That's what it's supposed to be doing. So yes, Finale script does seem to be working. What else is there? Data check, concert pitch. And for anyone who's watching, if there's something that you want to see in particular, feel free to just put it in the chat and I will try it out right now. Because I believe there's like, from what I saw in the stats, there's like probably 10 or 12 of you that are watching that aren't participating. How is Playback? From what I was able to tell earlier, I used Noteperformer and I was having no issues with that. Unfortunately, the thing that allows me to let you see the playback in a live stream, that appears to be broken on Big Sur. So, I can't really show you right now, other than I did not find any issues with it. If there's like something in particular with playback that you want me to test, I can try it out right now and just tell you what I'm hearing. But yeah. In the meantime, let's go back to my checklist. So the UI elements have visually changed. So if you have anything that does that, JDB plugins, they seem to be working. Talked about, now we're on a playback, which were the last things on my list. Did Big Sur change the audio settings significantly in general? Well, if you, yeah, that error is still there. So I did not check in particular, but I didn't hear anything that changed. Again, since I use Noteperformer, this is a setting I don't go down to a ton. I'm not hearing anything or seeing anything that is different from what I would expect. And probably the best answer I can give to you right now, unless there's like a specific setting you want me to check, that if it did change any audio settings, I couldn't hear any difference in an actual file. Oh, in the operating system. Okay, so the main things I noticed in the OS, by the way, I'm in system preferences and sound, is under sound effects. These are slightly different. In terms of the actual like input and output devices, nothing's changed from what I can tell. But pretty much all these sounds over here are different. And not Finale. Big Sur adds a few extra sound effects for user feedback that wasn't there originally. Of course, it is now the startup sound, the user interface sound effects. So like pretty much every single action, I shouldn't say every single action, but most actions now have an associated sound, whether or not you turn them on or off, including like the very simple like error sounds when you did something wrong. Like there was always that like bomb, but there's more of those feedback sounds. The only way I found to get rid of them completely is just to turn the alert volume completely down. In which case, that just got rid of every single one. This, I believe, is just the normal output volume over here. Yeah, so nothing's changed over there. Of course, there's the new control center that you've probably heard about that has sound things over here, but I did not see any difference in how things actually operate in the control center, just things appear differently. It's a visual change. Notifications, I can't tell you how that works. I just turn all those off. I absolutely hate notifications interrupting whatever I'm doing. Any other sound things? I don't think so. Let's check out audio MIDI setup, because you may have to do this. So that's the current microphone I'm using. That's looking the same from before. That is, I believe, the same as before. Macbook Pro speakers, I don't remember that being in the setting, but, or in this area. But that doesn't appear to be any different. Does that answer your question? I'm not 100% sure if that answers your question, but if it does, let me know. Where else could there be audio settings? So would it be under general? Don't think there's anything under general. It shouldn't be under desktop and screensaver. Motion control, Siri, spotlight, language. Shouldn't be under security and privacy. Screen time and accessibility. Okay, cool. If that doesn't, so yes, I believe, as far as I can tell, the way Finale interacts with the OS is the same. How should I say it? Of course, there's the UI changes because Finale uses a lot of the UI. I probably said that like 10 times already in this live stream. There were, with a couple programs, like with a couple of the side programs with Finale, you do have to add a couple more permissions. I think that's more just that the permissions in each macOS version are just getting more and more granular. So I didn't have to re-bless anything or reauthorize anything, but there were a couple things where I had to allow a few new permissions. Most of those are with the new StreamDeck version with Finale. There's another one with the Perfect Layout plugin, which, because I'm using the beta, I'm not really sure how much I'm supposed to say about that, but that shouldn't be an issue with the actual plugin. That's more of a macOS thing. But in terms of everything else, it seems to be the same, including, I didn't check this thoroughly, but I believe even like the audio units and playing back through Midi, that interacts with the OS the same way, as well as like the device setup stuff over here. I guess if I were to give a quick summary on my experience so far with Big Sur and macOS, is if you're just using like plain old Finale, you're probably not going to have a problem. Aside from the things we found earlier, it's if you're doing anything else with a third-party software integration with Finale. Most of those seem to be working, but there's a couple that are like slightly different depending on how janky your actual setup is. And I think I've gone through most of that stuff already. If not, let me know. Another thing, just to, while I'm putting it out there, as you may have noticed, that I now have all these square icons. Wait, GitHub desktop reverted back? Anyways, so I updated that. if you want like a nice new square finale icon that matches all the built-in macOS icons, that video is coming out on Monday. It'll be really easy to set up. If you want a sneak preview, just watch the previous video and there's a new download link. Weird that the arrow is missing in the playback controls. Yeah, so it's visually missing, but you can still click on it, which I thought was weird. I guess that's bug number 2, because that was definitely there before the upgrade. Yeah, so the video on how to create a nice big square logo like this that matches like calendar, finder, and all those other fun stuff, that's on Monday. I just honestly just got annoyed, I think it was like Wednesday night, that like some of the icons in the dock were just looking exactly the same in terms of shape and others were not, and I was like, no, they have to all be squares or all be different. So I spent like 20 minutes creating new icons. Let's see, so anything else any of you want to go over? Yeah. That was a good find that the arrow is missing. Yeah, so if there's not something else, could always just wrap up the live stream because I don't think there's anything else for me to share. I've gone over all the things that I was looking to hit. I guess if I were to, give one more wrap-up conclusion, like if I were to stay in, I'm probably going to stay personally in Big Sur because downgrading would be a huge issue, and I haven't noticed any like real big issues with that would make me need to downgrade. But yeah, time will only tell if you on how fixed or how stable you want everything to be. So you're trying to think if that error thing exists somewhere else in Finale. I'm not sure if it does. So cool, I've addressed playback, issues with lyrics. Let's see, I have not tried out lyrics yet. So let's try creating lyrics. Actually, I probably need like a lot more notes for this. Let's just go ahead and add a ton of notes for lyrics. Lyrics tool. This is a word for this note. Bunch of single syllables so the dashes work. And the sentence ends here. Okay, so not noticing any immediate problems with the lyrics. You're welcome for the live stream. What else can we do? We can do, of course, multiple lyric verses. This is honestly one of those, with doing multiple lyric verses, something that I have to rewatch my own video for. Let's try to figure this out. Oh yeah, lyric options. That's where the tool was. No, it wasn't there. Oh, it did get that. Specify current lyric. There it is. We're on 2. Another lyric verse. This is the second. I apologize for my hyphenation. Line for the lyrics. Cool. You can also do shift down and shift up. Good to know. And this is another line. I guess it's technically another line for the lyrics. Okay. So I'm not noticing anything in particular, particularly wrong with the lyrics. Let's try cloning lyrics. Let's just copy the notes real quickly. Let's try. Oops. I have to go back over here to the lyrics tool. Lyrics, clone lyrics. Specify current lyric. Yeah, I've done. Oh no, you can. I guess it's been so long since I've actually done lyrics that I'm forgetting how to do most of this stuff. Yeah, if you're curious, every now and then I actually do have to go back and rewatch my own lyrics. Let's see, just baselines. There's one of these where I can, if you remember, where I can like type the word lyrics into a text editor and then they automatically get pasted in. Is that this? Okay, so that's clone lyrics again. So that seems to be working. Click assignment. That's this. Okay. We're on verse 2. Cool. Yeah, so the click assignment is working. Cool. It looks like you guys figured it out at about the same time that I did. Edit word extensions. Ta-da. Is that line? Okay, yeah, that seems to be working. I don't know, hopefully this is answering your question about the lyrics. Yeah, that actually is a good question to ask, because that is not something that I would have thought of checking, because I don't do lyrics a whole ton. Oh yeah, trombone players don't use lyrics. We use glisses. Actually, I should check to make sure glisses work, because why not? It is like the most stereotypical trombone thing to do ever. Cool, glisses work, and I have that set up as the thin gliss. I need to change this eventually to the thicker gliss. That way it's more visible. But yeah. Yeah, in general, as long as like what you're using Finale for seems to be like standard Finale, things are working. Let's see, chords. We can go over chords. Oh yeah, choral musicians, it's like always lyrics. C major 7, cool, chord is working. D minor 7, 5, no. D minor 7, 5, 5, cool, that's working. Copy, paste. Did I have one over here for chords? Yes, I did. C. Okay, that is not working. Is that just my keyM shortcut, or is that literally? See, so chords and fretboards. That should paste. We have use filter. Okay, so yeah, this is working. Chords seem to be working. Default documents, document styles, templates were all working when I checked earlier. Libraries, I haven't worked on a library yet. So let's try to import a library. That should be under music files, libraries, I believe. Libraries. Sure, we can load the Broadway copyist font. And then we go over here for lyrics. You can see Cool. Yes, all these cool jazz articulations are working, so libraries seem to be working as well. That I believe was working earlier when I tried it. We did smart shapes, we did that. I really used the Midi tool, so I'd be messing that up even if I tried. Simple entry, speedy entry work, time signature tool is working as you would expect. You're welcome. Happy to be the guinea pig. Let's try key signatures. That was working if I remember right, including like all the specifics. Measure tool. I didn't try this one yet. I don't see why it wouldn't work. Final bar line. Time signature. Let's set this to always show. Cool. That seems to be working as well. Hyperscribe. I would be messing that up even if I tried. So I don't really want to try Hyperscribe right now. Does Hyperscribe even need a MIDI keyboard? I think it might. I usually almost do everything from my normal computer keyboard. That's mainly because I'm just like a horrible pianist and a really fast typer. So, I mean, I guess we could try Hyperscribe. Where is Hyperscribe? Yes, I will. Looks like I do probably need an external MIDI thing. The useless zoom in and zoom out seems to be working. Hand grabber tool. Yep. By the way, has anyone actually found a... Yes, trombone players have no need for Hyperscribe. Single line instruments. Has anyone actually found a good use for the hand grabber tool? I'm genuinely curious. Because yeah, I just always scroll around normally. That just seems to be a lot easier for me. Plus, if like you really need the hand grabber tool, I believe there's a keyboard shortcut for it. Forgetting what that is off the top of my head. But Jason will know. He probably knows that. Scroll view, staff sets. Okay, let's go on to scroll view. No, that's not scroll view. I want scroll view. And staff sets, I guess that means I will probably need to add a lot more staffs. Add instrument, grand staff, organ, why not? And oh no, we're making fun of trombone players, so we'll add a trombone part. And that's what I thought. Option. I was actually literally just trying out all the different option shift controls and functions to figure out what the hand grabber tool was. Guess that was like the one thing I didn't try. So anyway, staff sets. We want to define a staff set. So we're gonna come over here, staff tool. Let's see, it's view under staff sets. Program to staff set. Let's program to staff set 3. All staves. Staff set 3. Seems to be working. Well, let's try another staff set. I guess actually we can go back and forth using the keyboard shortcuts. Like that. Let's try another staff set to make sure that this is not a fluke. View, staff sets. I know I could use the keyboard shortcuts, but I don't feel like it right now. So 3, 4, all of them. Cool. So staff sets seem to be working in scroll view. And it looks like scroll view is working how I would expect it to work. I guess while we're on the topic of views, we can go into page view. let's change the page view style. Is it tiled? I guess I only have... Let's update the layout. Oh yeah, I forgot this is page view. Tiled. So it seems to be working. As you would expect. No! If only I can actually hit this button. I know there's a keyboard shortcut, but that's just really awkward in my recording position. That specific one. I guess we could also try it loose leaf. Current page only. Boop, ba-doo. Yep, so those are working correctly. What other tools are there? Oh, the special tools. That is a good one to check. Because if there's something that can go wrong, it is probably going to be a special tool. So let's just add a whole bunch of notes over here. And let's try to break the beams. And let's break the beams over here. Oh yeah, we go the other way around. Let's break all of them. Cool, that seems to be working. Other note heads, let's add. Sure, we can make this terrible music. Why not? So it looks like these special tools are also working. I guess to do that I need to add a tie. So add the tie tool. Whoops. Yep. Special tools are working as well. So cool. Any last suggestions before we wrap this up? The ARIA player from the audio units and effects. Let's go over there. ARIA. Oh yeah, audio units and effects. So this is, I'm using Noteperformer right now, so it opens up the Noteperformer thing. Let's go quickly convert all of this to Garriton. I'll do this way. Garriton. So I did not run into an issue upgrading the Big Sur. I do know one person who had an issue with a bit of data being deleted from their hard drive when upgrading Big Sur. There was a couple programs that, the only issues other than that I had, were there are a few programs that do automation stuff in the background for me that weren't updated to a Big Sur compatible version before I upgraded. You probably, unless you're, those were specifically, I think Hazel was one of them. There's one more that I'm forgetting. But I would probably recommend upgrading all your software to a Big Sur compatible version before upgrading to Big Sur. In terms of the actual installation process, for me, I didn't have a problem. But like I said, one other person that I know did have an issue with losing some data. Not a ton, but it was some. The ARIA player. So the ARIA player seems to open. Anything in particular you wanted me to check in here? I'm used to, like I said, the Noteperformer section of this, because I vastly prefer the sound of Noteperformer over Garriton sounds. So it's one of those things where there's a lot of things I really know about Finale, but other areas of Finale like Playback, because I use Noteperformer all the time, There's a whole lot I just don't know. Okay. Sure, so, I mean, I'll try perfect layout. Just want to make sure that is Jan, right? Because I know I did sign an NDA for the perfect layout plugin, so I don't want to show it if you don't want me to. Let's see, do I have a good file that I can try? Do I have a good file that's not messed up right now? Let's just try a new document. Let's just try to play some scales. Let's add in some notes like that, and then we'll add in some crescendos. Some slurs. I know this isn't a great test document. Before I actually try it, Jan, if you're in the chat, can you just make sure I have an okay to do it? My Mac is about to die. Okay, cool. So I will do it then. Hopefully this is a good test document. Actually, one more quick question for you, Jan. I forgot, was there a, I know you have the test documents that you often test it with. I forgot if the perfect layout plugin automatically downloads a few of those or not. If it does, I'll go ahead and use one of those. If not, I will just go ahead and use this terribly constructed file. Yeah, I forgot, where's that demo file? Is it in here? I don't think I saw it in the actual perfect layout settings. Same document is required. Let's assume I saved it. So I don't think it was in here. Oh, if you're curious, Jan, just to let you know, the terminal windows just uploaded on a second screen, which is why you can't see it right now. Let's see. I probably shouldn't show you that. Let's see, is it in Finder? Finale 26. Would it be in here under the music files? Probably not. Because I don't think I saw it in the... over here. These are all Lua files. Yeah, do you know where they are installed? Shouldn't be under libraries, components. That's Finale script. I don't think it's under data. It's under there. No, that wasn't. Nope, there's nothing under there. When I try searching. Yeah, do you know where the demo files are? Let's see, I don't want to go here. I want to go to, I believe it's under the FAQ. Where was the FAQ? I was just here this morning, literally. Library application support, Alp Sound Studio, perfect layout. Seems to skip my message. Okay. Finale 26. Application support. Oh, it's over there. So it should be under here. Cool. Let's just do this demo file. Let's say no. And try it out. JW Lua, perfect layout. Yep, so again, just for your reference, the terminal windows are actually on my second screen, as well as a message saying that the manual page breaks found. Do I want to reflow? Yes, I want to reflow it. Yes, I saved it. All these other boxes I'm talking about were on the other screen. Yes, Patterson plugins. And let's run it. I'm just going to put yes to all of these. Did I get... Sounds not been assigned. Let's not assign sounds. So this is the result that I just got. Here, for you, Jen, I will also just send you, I will save and send this to you afterwards. Oh, there's a new option where you can change the output of the progress bar to the other screen. Cool. I'm not usually all that worried about that, because I usually almost do this on one screen. Let's try this with another demo file. Well, thanks for coming, Jason. And you're welcome for being the guinea pig. So anyways, yes, the progress bar was working as I'd expected on when I wasn't using two screens. And that's including right now I'm using full screen and then not full screen, or I'm using a finale in full screen and then everything else is over here not in full screen. I could try changing that so far. Cool, glad it looks good. And no page breaks found. And cool, that's this other document. Yeah, in general, it's just looking, everything is looking fairly good. Couple things here that I would probably fix, although it might just be that there's something missing here. Anyways, I'll send you these documents. Okay, good to know. I thought I selected no, but in case I didn't. So if there's something else you would like me to test with the Perfect Layout plugin, I can do that. I think I'm going to call it good for the live stream, and I can just send you a video of how everything looks, or images, or I could just send you the test files or something like that later on. But I think I'm going to call that good for the live stream. So, with that, everyone, thanks for coming, for those of you who came, and have a good rest of your day.